them. I'm joined here on the set, on the studio, by our Foreign Affairs editor, Phillip Turle. Good to have you with us, Phillip. At times it's been a pretty rocky relationship, hasn't it, between Macron and Biden?
Well, if you thought that it was rocky with the former US President Donald Trump, it got a lot rockier with Joe Biden just about a year ago when this famous deal, the AUKUS deal for the supply of submarines, French diesel-powered submarines to Australia, was scuppered because the Australians then transferred that deal to the United States. Now, that was a deal which was worth $37 billion for the French, so it made Paris absolutely furious. And I think was slightly embarrassing for Joe Biden, because Joe Biden, who met with Emmanuel Macron at the G20 summit in October, more or less apologised for having done that, saying he thought the French were aware of what was going on. But this was the greatest crisis that France and the United States had been through since that famous period when Jacques Chirac decided to go against George W. Bush over the invasion of Iraq back in 2003. But all of that has sort of come to a head now and been overcome by the situation in Ukraine, the war in Ukraine. But it's true that the relationship between the United States and France is a good one, but France sees its role in the South Pacific, which it was really hoping to be able to maintain as a result of selling these submarines to Australia, a bit curtailed by the United States. The United States, with its relationship with China, is not the same vision that France has. France sees China more as a partner, whereas it perceives that the United States sees China more as a rival, and it would like to act as a go-between, but it's seen that seriously scuppered with this submarine deal.
You mentioned the war in Ukraine. I mean, surely, Phillip, that's really brought the two sides together. I mean, the US and France are amongst those countries really at the forefront.
And I think that is definitely going to be top of the agenda at the moment in those relations between France and the United States. Now, there was a phone call yesterday, the congratulatory phone call between Joe Biden and Emmanuel Macron following Macron's re-election in France. I think that the two leaders are going to continue working together. They've got a number of questions they need to work out the answers to. The first one is, how are they going to keep Volodymyr Zelensky in power in Ukraine? And the second one is, how are they going to stop Vladimir Putin from taking hold of more territory in Ukraine? Where is this going to stop? Are they going to let him have part of the Donbass region? Are they going to let him take Mariupol? Just exactly what is the West, this united West, going to come up, what idea are they going to come up with to try to end the war, at the same time sending in weapons? Both the United States and France have been sending in weapons. They both put sanctions on Russia. So there is a very strong, cohesive approach towards the war in Ukraine and also towards Russia. And I think that's definitely going to continue, and a huge sigh of relief also in the United States that it is Emmanuel Macron who was re-elected and not Marine Le Pen.
Phillip, thanks very much. Phillip Turle, International Affairs editor here on France 24.